What is up, guys? Welcome back to the anime channel. Today I will be reviewing Yuri on Ice episode 8. Now, before I even begin with the review, let me just tell you guys right now. This episode, when it comes to terms of choreography, animation, fluidity, it is a masterpiece. Now, normally I would never use the word masterpiece. I might be over exaggerating right now, even though I'm saying it right now. But comparing it to any other episode, when I mentioned those terms of fluidity, choreography, and animation, not many episodes come to mind this season. So, yeah, when it comes to those terms, this episode is the best of the season. So, yeah, Yuri on Ice is definitely picking up. Last week was also a good episode, but for many other reasons. These are different reasons for this episode, and it excels. I cannot wait for the finals. If this is what we're getting of the performances these performers are giving us, I really cannot wait to see what they have for us in the last few episodes. Every performance was top-notch. I liked every single performance. Every performance stood out. They were different. Saying that, I'm confused. This whole process to qualify for the Grand Prix final is very, very confusing. It appears to me that you have to at least enter two of these pre-qualification tournaments to actually enter it. Because when they were recapping the people that already qualified and the people that might not qualify and who's left, it appears that everyone competed in at least two other tournaments. And the ones that actually qualified are Belomont, I think that's his name. We don't really know much about him. We've barely even seen this guy. And the other guy is Christopher, who we saw last week. So there's no surprise Christopher is the one that advanced. Watching this episode, man, Christopher might not even be a major threat because we got some other contenders in this episode. And that's going to just make things way more interesting in the final. So in this episode, oh, by the way, Fissit, he's not going to compete because he already competed at 2 tournaments. So he's like a bye. In terms of tournament standards, a bye means he's a wild card. He might not make it, he might make it, depending on the result of this tournament. So he's on standby right now. This episode introduces so many other characters that kind of make Fissit look, let me see, what's that word? Bland. Because in this episode, and let me just start off with the character that stands out the most, and by far. And his name, no, I won't call him by his name, because he prefers to be called JJ. JJ Style. JJ Style, man. JJ Style. That's not his name, but that's what he likes calling his performance. Because he called it JJ Style because he does not follow rules of figure skating. This guy, I feel like this guy doesn't limit himself to his performances. He feels like whatever he feels like doing in the moment as he's performing, he will do it. He just gets out there and performs. And whatever comes to mind, whatever he feels like doing, he does. Because in his world, in his reality, risks doesn't exist. Everything is feel. Everything is precise. And this guy, man, he is the biggest threat to everyone in this competition. I was shocked by how good this guy was, man. He got, what, 110 at 18? That was his score? That's unreal. In this series, if you get more than 100 in your first program, that's a major, major thing to do in this tournament. So, and speaking of 100s, who else got 100? Who else? My boy Yuri. Yuri. Finally, man. I am so happy to see him finally out of his shell and perform freely. In this episode, man, he became the aggressor in the relationship. It was actually quite amusing seeing this. As soon as he was going to go out and perform, he pulls Victor by the collar close to his lips and tells him, "Watch me. I'll make you fall in love. I'll show the whole world true love." I was like, damn. I never expected to see this side of Yuri. So, I'm glad of the character development of Yuri throughout this whole series, man. He came a long way. I'm just so happy that he's finally able to perform to his full and not have anything hold him back. Well, that is until he got that fucking phone call. Again, man, again with this shit, look. It's pretty obvious that this series is making, I'm not going to say excuses, but they're making problems for Yuri to overcome. He won't be able to actually perform to his full potential until the very end. So he would probably be able to actually get the highest score this tournament. But since, well, it appears that Victor won't actually be there to help him, to instruct him, he's going to go back to Japan and look after his dog because his dog is choking on some shit. I don't really know, man. It happened. He's gone. And this is definitely going to affect Yuri's performance. He's still going to qualify, don't get me wrong, but I predict he will barely qualify at 4th place. So it bums me out that we won't see a good performance next week by Yuri. It'll still be okay, but I know he's going to mess up because Victor's not there, or that he's not going to be able to take those risks he likes taking. So we'll see how that goes. And now let me talk about Yuri. Oh, Yuri, it's been a while. It's been a long time since we got this much screen time for Yuri. And according to my anime list, he is the 3rd most popular character in this series. So a lot of you guys out there love this character. A lot of you girls out there want to marry this character. So he got some screen time. It was nice seeing it. The tsundere he is, again, man, tsundere typical actions. The best part was his performance, man. Honestly, he was my favorite performance. I think I said this earlier. I loved it, man. I loved it. He fucked up in the beginning because he felt that pressure. It's almost like the roles reversed for Yuri and Yuri-o. Yuri's performing freely. But after seeing how well Yuri developed his routine, it kind of made Yuri-o feel, I don't want to say insecure, but he felt threatened. He felt like he wouldn't be able to outperform him. So that had an effect to his performance, and he fucked up in the beginning. But the ending, man, the ending, those spins. I'm telling you, I love the fucking fluidity of this series, especially with these earlier performances, man. It's so good. It really is. He kept spinning. It was all in one take. There was no cutaways at all. It was all in one take. It felt like it was all in one take. It was so good, man. I loved it. And he got, I think, third in the short program. So I'm happy that he is getting the spotlight he deserves. And yeah, he's gonna qualify for sure. Now, the last few characters that were shown to us in this episode was Lee, Michi, and I believe his name was Nekola. Emil. Yeah, Nekola, Emil. These 3 characters, look, they were good. I liked the performances. They were funny. Each had their own quirk. Lee, he doesn't really like talking to people. He's kind of rude. It was funny seeing that too. Michi has this weird obsessity for his little sister. It's funny. It was the funniest bit out of those 3 characters. And Emil, he just likes messing around. So he likes flirting. He likes doing that shit. So out of these 3 characters, man, I don't think they're going to play that big of a role. But knowing that 4 will qualify and 3 of the spots are definitely taken. Yuri-o, Yuri, and JJ are definitely taking. So unless these 3 other guys perform well enough to take Plisetsky's spot, I would assume the one that would do it would be Lee. It would be him because he did look the most threatening. He performed first. So they definitely showed some screen time for his character for obvious reasons if he does qualify. But Plisetsky's pretty good too, so I don't know, man. It's really hard to tell at this point. I don't know. If Plisetsky does not qualify, it will be Lee, but I feel like Plisetsky might edge it. But I don't know, man. We'll see how this series goes. But yeah, hopefully Plisetsky qualifies. So other than that, that is pretty much the episode. There were some funny bits. My favorite part of the episode when it comes to comedy was definitely Yuri-o. They call him the Ice Tiger or White Tiger, I forgot, but they call him a tiger. So when he's performing, all these girls have Neko ears, and that's hilarious. That is so funny. And when he performed, they were throwing flowers, and then a pair of ears landed on top of Yuri-o. And that was the best part of the episode. Better than the performances, better than everything in the world. That was funny. Solid episode, solid performances. Cannot wait for next week, the finale. No, I think this will last 2 parts, honestly. I think it'll last 2 more episodes, so we'll see how that goes. What are your thoughts? Who do you think will qualify? You agree with me or not? Who was your favorite performance of this episode? Mine was definitely Yuri. Definitely stole the show, even though he fucked up. That is the only reason why he did not place first, by the way, because he fucked up in the beginning. If he didn't fuck up, he would have gone in first. Just saying. So yeah, leave me down below, because I got to go. See you on the next one, guys. Sayonara.